Hey there. In addition to Krzysztof Kieslowski's Decalogue on the Criterion Collection, which I was thrilled to receive today, was also thrilled to receive this from the good folks at Barnes & Noble. Yeah, big thick book here, and it is a book. It's something that I've been looking forward to for, I don't know, 30 years, something like that. And I think I'm gonna get buy a cover for this. I'm not sure how this works, but I believe you can buy covers and then like make your own cover to protect a dust jacket. This is what I'm gonna do. I've got a few others that I should probably protect as well, so I'll probably be doing that. But man, oh man, am I excited for this. This is an autobiography from Simon & Schuster, from, yeah, my favorite musician. And we're talking about Born to Run from Bruce Springsteen, of Bruce Springsteen fame. Great cover here, taken off on Randolph Street back in the day with a, what am I looking at here for a car? I don't know what that car this is. I should know that car. It looks very familiar, but of course, Springsteen, known for writing about cars and girls, I guess, in his younger days, but that's not all he did. He wrote about a lot of things. This is a massive book with some pictures at the very tail end. But we're talking about a 500-page tome here. Yeah, over 510 pages. And he wrote it himself. This is not, you know, like a Bill O'Reilly deal where his name's on it, but then it says written by. So somebody else writes the thoughts down. He wrote this. What happened was in 2009, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band played the Super Bowl. You may have seen it. And pretty exciting performance, I felt. And he had such a great experience with that he wanted to write it down. He wanted to write his thoughts down about, you know, playing the Super Bowl, getting ready for the Super, everything about that experience. And then he said, well, what the heck? I might as well write a book. And of course, publishers, he's in some ways somewhat of an enigmatic figure. And you know, I looked, the Rolling Stone has come out with 10 things that they learned about Bruce Springsteen from this book that they didn't know. There's at least that many. And even the things you know, to hear him explain them, I think goes a long way to understanding them better, I guess. I mean, because it's not a ghostwriter, because it's him. Oh, this thing has got 52 chapters in it. I'm sorry, it's got more than that. 79 chapters in it. Let me just give you a sense of the titles of some of the chapters. First of all, I guess my doorbell. I'll be right back. Yeah, that was my daughter. She was locked out, so apparently she didn't have her key with her. So 79 chapters, but there's also sections. There are 3 books. So book 1 is entitled Growing Up, which has a couple. First of all, it's about him growing up, and second of all, one of his songs is called Growing Up, one of his early songs off of Asbury Park, Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey. Growing Up's on that album. And then some of the titles, My Street, My House, The Church, The Italians, The Irish, Radio Days, The Second Coming, Working Man's Blues, Where the Bands Are, The Castiles, Once There Was a Little Steven, California Dreamin', Take 2, Steel Mill, Losing My Religion, The Wild, The Innocent, and the East Street Shuffle, The Satellite Lounge. Book 2, rightfully called Born to Run. Certainly his most famous song, I would say, his anthem. The one that sort of broke him. A little history on Springsteen you may not know is that after The Wildly Innocent, he released 2 albums. They wanted him to be like a Dylan artist. They wanted him to go like kind of the acoustic vein without the band, and he refused. He wanted that band with him. And so after after Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey, he made The Wildly Innocent and the E Street Shuffle, kind of a bluesy, jazzy rock album. Love it. Love the first 2 albums. But they weren't mainstream. He hadn't broken through. And so, really, it was on the line for him. He had to, if he was going to ever make it the way he wanted to make it, if he was ever going to be something, be big, be more than just a guy that put out a few albums, he had to have a big hit. And with Born to Run, he had that big hit. So, book 2 is called Born to Run. And, of course, Born to Run is right there. John Landau, who is his manager, who took over from his Mike Appel, who was his manager. There was a lawsuit involving Mike Appel and the management of Bruce Springsteen. And, Thunder Road, the E Street Band, Clarence Clemens, of course, the late Clarence Clemens. Darkness on the Edge of Town is another chapter title. The River, Nebraska. So pretty much all of his albums have titles. And then book 3 is Living Proof. Living Proof, Red-Headed Revolution. Going to the Chapel. Streets of Philadelphia, The Ghost of Tom Joad. King of New Jersey. The Rising, Magic, Moving On, Wrecking Ball. The Wrecking Ball Tour. Yeah, this is just some great stuff. 0 to 60 and Nothing Flat. Long Time Coming is the last chapter. His style of writing matches the way he speaks, and if you've ever heard Springsteen in an interview, this matches up pretty good. So from the foreword, I'm going to read a little bit. It is a book, so it deserved to be read, and I'm going to read a little bit. And this may be, most of the people on my channel who watch it for Criterion Collection stuff, or movie reviews, I've done some gaming stuff, I've done some stuff on music before, but hopefully this brings in a different crowd, or not necessarily brings in, I don't need subscribers, but I hope people watch this who are interested in this book and in Bruce Springsteen, and perhaps they'll go out and pick up the book. I know as soon as I heard about it, I pre-ordered it, once you could pre-order it. Well, this is from the foreword by Bruce Springsteen. I come from a boardwalk town where almost everything is tinged with a bit of fraud. So am I. By 20, no race car driving rebel, I was a guitar player on the streets of Asbury Park and already a member in good standing amongst those who lie, L-I-E, in service of the truth, artists with a small a. But I held 4 clean aces. I had youth, almost a decade of hardcore bar band experience, a good group of homegrown musicians who were attuned to my performance, and I had a story to tell. This book is both a continuation of that story and a search into its origins. I've taken as my parameters the events in my life I believe shaped that story and my performance work. One of the questions I'm asked over and over again by fans on the street or anywhere else is, how do you do it? In the following pages, I will try to shed a little light on how, and more important, why. DNA, natural ability, study of craft, development of and devotion to an aesthetic philosophy, naked desire for fame, love, admiration, attention, women, sex, and oh yeah, a buck. Then, if you want to take it all the way out to the end of the night, a famous fire in the hole that just don't quit burning. These are some of the elements that will come in handy should you come face to face with 80,000 or 80 screaming rock and roll fans who are waiting for you to do your magic trick. Wanting for you to pull something out of your hat, out of thin air, out of this world. Something that before the faithful were gathered here today was just a song-fueled rumor. I'm here to provide proof of life to that ever-elusive, never completely believable, quote-unquote, us. That is my magic trick, and like all good magic tricks, it begins with the setup. So, ... Then you go right into the autobiography. I am more than pleased to have this. I think I paid... I didn't pay anything for it. My wife had credit at Barnes & Noble because of some sort of lawsuit revolving the Nook. I don't really know what's going on with that. Some sort of lawsuit that she signed up for. She got like $87 worth of credit on the website. So this, I think it was like $17. It lists for $32.50. They had it probably for about half price, I guess. So I think I got it 50% off, and then, but it's a big book, man. It's really a nice book. And I'm going to protect this. I see you can buy something online that goes over this and protects it, and almost like a library type deal. So I'll be doing something with that. This is embossed, by the way. Yeah, both Born to Run and Springsteen are both embossed. I don't think you can really tell. But really nice looking book. I'll look forward to it. So that's that. And I want to show you a couple other things as long as we're talking about Bruce Springsteen. So I'm going to show you some stuff up here. I'm going to show you this as well. I got this used from FYE, and I wasn't thrilled that it came with tape on it. I suppose it was somebody's effort to protect it or something. I'm not really sure. I can understand that because it has a worn look. I'm okay with the fact that there's tape on it. You can see the tape on the bottom. There was tape on the top that I took off, but it started to peel away some stuff, so I stopped. This, of course, is the album collection, Volume 1, from 1973 to 1984, which for my money is probably all I want in this format. I have all of them on CDs. They're all remastered. So I'll show you what's what here. First of all, you get a book, a rather thick book. And this has, this is kind of cool. It's hard to read, but it's cool. It's got like a lot of articles and stuff in here that's been reprinted. So, you know, get out your glasses for this, or magnifying glass. A lot of information in there. And then you get, and there's been some other box sets that have been like this that have come out. Well, this was what was on the back. I saved it and left it inside for a lot of reasons. But you get all 10, is there 10? There's 7 albums on compact disc. You can also get this on vinyl if you want to pay a fortune. I don't know why vinyl's so expensive now. I had a vinyl collection of probably about 500 albums that I sold and went to the compact disc. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube where people say, you know, it sounds better. I think it's a different experience. I remember first listening to compact disc and thought it sounded way better. Gone were the snap, crackle, and pops from the albums. But anyway, so you've got Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey, his first album, and you get everything that came with the album is here. So whatever it looked like on the inside, whatever stuff came in the album is what you get. Again, get out your contact lenses or whatever you need to read this stuff because the print is small. The Wild, the Innocent, the E Street Shuffle. Born to Run, the album that he had to make, which he did. There's Clarence Clements on the back. Iconic picture there. I'm a big Springsteen fan. Big. Huge. That's my favorite album of his. My second favorite is probably Darkness on the Edge of Town. Again, an iconic album. The River. This was used, but it's like brand new. I think what the person did was just tape it. Probably taped it and then sold it. So I picked it up pretty dirt cheap for my flight. I paid about $30 for this, believe it or not. I think it goes for like $100 normally. Nebraska. You can see how new this looks. And then finally, Born in the USA. Okay, next up, I'm just kind of going to show you some stuff I have from Bruce Springsteen. Not everything I've got, because I've got a lot, but some of the more interesting items, I guess. This one is Tracks. This was released, let's see, when was this released? 1998. It's a compilation of stuff that were left off of albums for whatever reason. But some great songs here. And if you're a Springsteen fan, you'll recognize things like Bishop Danced, Zero and Blind Terry, Thundercrack, Bring on the Night, So Young and in Love, great songs, along with some alternate versions of things like Mary Queen of Arkansas, It's Hard to Be a Saint in the City. These would be more acoustic versions. Growing Up, does this Bus Stop at 82nd Street off the first album. Then you've got Restless Nights, Roulette. Some of these were concert staples, but never made an album. Johnny Bye Bye, Shut Out the Light. Great songs. Frankie, This Hard Land became a pretty major concert staple. Pink Cadillac there was for a while. Jenny, Don't You Lose Heart. Great song. Back in Your Arms, another one that, and then Brothers Under the Bridge. But there's a whole bunch of them. 4 discs, I believe. Yeah, 4 discs. Here's the inside. Just give you an idea. Under each one of these flaps, then, is a CD. And here is a pretty thick book. It slides out like this. And has lyrics, I believe. It's been a while since I looked at this. I believe there's lyrics in here, though. Yeah, lyrics to every song. And pictures as well. And then also, which I've never even opened, a little CD of just 3 songs from off of here. Lion's Den, which he did in 2009 when I saw him at Penn State, Bryce Jordan Center. He opened with Lion's Den, which I thought was an interesting song to pick, but a good one. All right. So that is Tracks. 4 discs of songs that were good enough to make most people's albums, but didn't make his. He doesn't make any excuses for it. He just says these were the ones that didn't make it for whatever reason. Artistic choices didn't fit in with the other songs. They weren't bad songs, and then they just got left behind. So this was a way to kind of bring them all back. Okay, next up is this book that I got for Christmas one year, Springsteen album by album, up through. I don't remember which album it goes up through. Not current. I know that much. Let's see here. Wrecking Ball for sure. Probably Wrecking Ball the last. Go up to 2014. High Hopes. So that's pretty recent. He hasn't put out anything since then, to the best of my knowledge. This one filled with pictures and quotes from Springsteen. It takes each album, for instance, here's Born to Run, pictures from that time period, concert photos. Again, a lot of quotes. There's a lot of information too in here about different songs and so on. Really nice book. Heavy, big. This is a coffee table book. What I like about this, I'm not a big fan of dust covers, so I like the fact that this cover, it doesn't need a dust cover. If that makes sense. And this really is nice. I need to revisit this. I probably will now that I'm going to read his autobiography. I'll probably revisit some of this stuff and listen to some of his music while I'm reading and that type of thing. But big book, Springsteen album by album. I don't remember what I paid for this. The list price is $27.95. I'm sure I didn't pay that. I probably paid maybe $15 for it. I think I got it as like a self-present for Christmas or something. I'm guessing that's what I did. Barack Obama quoted in 2008, "The reason I'm running for president is because I can't be Bruce Springsteen." He might wish he didn't do it. All right. Okay, next up, a book that another gift I think I got. I don't remember where I got this from. There's so much stuff out on Springsteen, and yet never in autobiographies. That's why the Born to Run is such a big deal. But this is Greetings from E Street, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. This is one of these, I'm sure it's thick. I wish every Blu-ray and DVD I had come in something this thick. And then the book itself is, it's one of these books where you go through it and there's like reprints of like old cards. This one for the Bruce Springsteen's phone number back in the day was 201-922-9610 when he was with Steel Mill. you've seen these books before, I guess, where you go through them, but then there's stuff that comes out like that. There's pages like this that have inserts or open up like this. And this has something down in it. Couldn't tell you what it is off the top of my head. Also about steel mill. A little brochure on steel mill. And it almost seems like every other page has got something. Here's Welcome to the Student Prince. This is just a little, here's a free pass to get in to see Bruce Springsteen. The Bruce Springsteen Band. Free pass. I wonder if you could try to show it at the door and see if we can get in. Yeah. Photos from back in the day. This is awful thick. Let's see here. Something's in here. Yeah, something's down in here. Everything. Anyway, you get the idea. There's all sorts of stuff down in here. I don't know what that is. Something's down in there. Oh, it's a bunch of papers. So you get, it tells a story, mainly using pictures and things like this. The Stone Pony, Asbury Park, VIP. Stone Pony being a bar in New Jersey that, here's a set list from who knows when, reprinted. Ties That Bind, Prove It All Night, Two Hearts, Darkness. Yeah. Don't know what year this is from. It may say on the back. Oh, yeah. Handwritten set list for shows at the Meadowlands on July 29th, August 4th, and August 11th. So there's 3 of them in this page here. He's going to pull them out. But that's his handwritten for 3 different shows, all from 1999. Pretty cool. So for someone who's a big fan, this is pretty cool stuff. It's been a while since I leaked through that, but I really should. Again, maybe the autobiography will inspire me to look through some of the stuff again. It's been a while since I looked through some of that. Some of it I just want to keep it nice, but, you know, you got to look through it once in a while. So that's Greetings from East Street. I would recommend that if you're a Springsteen fan or would-be Springsteen fan. This would be kind of a cool collector's item. Okay, finally, 3 box set, either DVD or Blu-ray releases that I've got. All were pretty expensive. But again, being a big fan, it's well worth it. These were remastered versions of the albums, as well as DVDs and books that go with each one. So the first one that he put out was a 30th anniversary, put out in 2005 for the 1975 release, Born to Run. So you get this big, oversized case. The smallest of the 3, by the way, that I'll show you. It gets progressively bigger on these things. But what it's got is a concert DVD. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band from the Hammersmith Odeon in London. This was a pretty... It was his first trip to London and his first concert in Europe. Certainly in the UK, but in Europe at all. It's over 2 hours of never-before-seen concert footage featuring epic performance of 16 Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band classics. It's the only full-length concert film ever released. The only full-length concert film ever released of Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band's first 25 years, digitally restored from the original negatives, remixed in both stereo and 5.1 surround sound. And then it's got quite the set list here, which you can take a look at. Starting with Thunder Road, which is oftentimes a closer. But you can see what's on there. Okay. To pause that and look, but classic stuff from most of the Born to Run album, along with some selections from the first 2 albums that he had. Secondly, a documentary DVD called Wings for Wheels, The Making of Born to Run, 90 minutes, awesome stuff, behind the scenes, him literally showing Clarence Clemons how to play the solo for Jungle Land. He doesn't play the saxophone himself, but he talks him through the notes. Really interesting. Then finally, disc 3 is the remastered CD of Born to Run. Includes a 48-page booklet of rare and previously unpublished photographs as well. So you've got this booklet right here of the unpublished photographs. Oops, yeah, you can't see that, can you? An idea. photographs, all from the Born to Run era. Then you've got the actual remastered CD, which is kind of cool. It actually looks like a record. Check this out here. How they did that. Oh, that's kind of cool. You've got the grooves for each song, and approximates, I guess, what it would look like. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And yeah. Then you've got the making of Wings for Wheels, which I believe is what Thunder Road was originally called before they changed the name to Thunder Road. It was called Wings for Wheels and had different lyrics. And finally, to me, the key of this whole thing was the concert. This is actual images from the concert. Really a great show. Springsteen had tore down the ads for him, talking about the next biggest thing. John Landau, his soon-to-be manager, said, "I've seen the future of rock and roll." His name is Bruce Springsteen. They put that on billboards or posters around the Hammersmith Odeon. Well, Springsteen got there and tore them all down. He went like, "Don't overhype me, man. You know, I'm nervous enough." But anyway, that's the 30th anniversary of Born to Run. The show was great, and that's testament is on this disc. And of course, he went on to even bigger things. Next, maybe my favorite of the 3 box sets for a lot of reasons, and that is Darkness on the Edge of Town. This on Blu-ray. This is pretty pricey. It was like $80, and I think I got it on sale. This has a bunch of discs with it. And what I really like, again, a really thick box on this thing. What I really like is this. This is where it all, it's a spiral notebook. And it actually is kind of, it's a reprint of a lot of stuff in his old handwriting of lyrics that he wrote. It looks as if you've got his original thing. And as you go through this, he's also got coffee stains on it where probably were appropriate. Then you've got, here's the remixed CD. I feel kind of bad because I got that, I only paid $30 for this, and this is kind of the same thing again. So if you didn't buy these box sets, you could have those, but I'll keep both. It doesn't hurt. Dropped a bunch of stuff here. Pick that up. Okay. Very good. Then you've got this book that comes with it, which has got some pictures in it and also lyrics to a lot of the songs. Recredits to something that was miscredited on it someplace. Then you've got, this was originally on the back. I kept it, put it in here. Tells you what's on everything. So you've got the CD, Darkness on the Edge of Town, the remastered. Then you've got another CD, which is 2 discs. It's called The Promise, which is all the songs that didn't make the album, but were recorded, but not on tracks. If that makes sense. Then you've got a Blu-ray. The Promise, The Making of Darkness on the Edge of Town. A lot of stuff there. It's 88 minutes long, 5.1 surround sound. Again, it's behind the scenes stuff from the studio, which I find very interesting, and snippets of a lot of songs. Then you've got Blu-ray number 2, which is Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band from the Paramount Theater, Asbury Park, 2009. I didn't think I was going to like this, but it's great. What it is they get on stage and play the album live without an audience. So you get the intensity and energy, not quite of a live performance, but you don't get all the crowd noises. So it's 58 minutes, so they do the whole album. Well worth your time to check that out. And finally, 2 Blu-rays. Blu-ray number, Let's see. The next one is it's a vault of various performances. Runs 59 minutes, and then another 24 minutes is a recording session. 35 minutes is a rehearsal for a concert from 1978 in New Jersey and New York. Just various songs from the Darkness on the Edge of Town album. And then finally, probably the best part of the whole thing was a full concert from 1978. A lot of this stuff they didn't even know existed. In color, 176-minute runtime. It's the Darkness on the Edge of Town tour, which for my money, 1978 was his best year for touring. People can argue that, I guess. But you've got the classics from Darkness on the Edge of Town. You've also got Born to Run, some stuff from the earlier albums as well, a couple songs there. And then you've got Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which is crowd favorite. So well worth it. And all the discs are within this notebook. So as you turn around, you come up with different pictures, and then eventually you'll come in, with a disc that slides out like this one here. This is the full. This is the Paramount Theater from 2009. Yeah, great stuff. Let me put one of these on here shortly. Darkness on the Edge of Town. And again, a very, very thick, heavy box to keep this in. Fits nicely, and yeah. Finally, the biggest of the three is the 30th anniversary. This is 30 years of one of my favorite, probably my third favorite album that he's made. Whoa, which is The River. It comes out of the top. I'm sure. Comes out of the top. It looks like here's again a thick book that came with this. Been a while since I looked at this even. What do we got here? We have all the discs this time are in here. Double remastered CDs, another disc here. These are all Blu-ray, 2 here, another one here. You got looks like 4 Blu-rays and 2 CDs, I believe. You got outtakes. Again, the Bostonheimer Jones, it says on the front. And it's got, again, handwritten stuff along with typed stuff. Pretty cool. Then you've got this River Collection hardcover called The Ties That Bind, which has a lot of photographs and some text, but mostly photographs from this time period. Yeah, it's mostly photographs. But great stuff to look at while you're listening to or I'll just hold up a couple things here. I'll give you an idea what's in there. Smells good. Smells new. Again, what's on here, I also saved the thing that was on the back originally, and that is the 2 remastered CDs, along with a single album that was never released, but at one point it was going to be a single album that had songs that weren't on the 2-disc set, believe it or not. And then he wasn't happy with that, so he went back into the studio and made it a 2-disc. You get outtakes of songs that didn't make none of them, and also were not on tracks that I showed you earlier. There's 2 CDs of that. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 CDs and 2 Blu-ray discs. I said 5. It's 4 CDs and 2 Blu-ray discs. One Blu-ray disc is the Ties That Bind documentary, which is interesting. Again, the making of, what was going on at the time of, and the making of. And then secondly, and really the key to this whole thing, is the River Tour. Again, it was one of these things that they didn't know existed. From Tempe, Arizona, 1980. It's a full show of the river in a 5.1 digital surround sound and HD. So great stuff. Yeah, that is The River. Ties That Bind, The River Collection. And that's it. That's not everything I have. I've got some individual concert, the concert from New York City, which is, when was that? Let's see. It had to be 16 years ago. So we were in, what, I guess it was in 2000, the reunion concert of Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, a reunion tour, and I was lucky enough to be at the last show, which is what's recorded there. So I actually have that. I used to have the ticket stuff. I don't know what I did with it. I used to have it in with it, and I somehow I got lost. Also got some other more recent Blu-rays, more recent concerts, but one called London, with London Calling on it, from over in England. But anyway, got other stuff as well, but I wanted to show you just some of the key stuff. This video is long enough. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.